Hi everyone. Hi, this is Kritika Sehgall once again welcoming you on Litofest Mumbai in our special session of Lit Talks. आज हम बात करेंगे एक बहुत ही खास और टैलेंटेड ऑथर से जिनका नाम है अक्षय शर्मा। मिस्टर अक्षय जो है वो एक्टर हैं, स्क्रीन राइटर हैं, राइटर हैं और आज हम जानेंगे उनके बारे में, उनकी जर्नी के बारे में, उनकी राइटिंग करियर के बारे में, उनके स्क्रीन राइटिंग करियर के बारे में और उनकी एक्टिंग करियर के बारे में। सो आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड, तो बने रहिए मेरे साथ क्योंकि मैं अभी ऐड करने वाली हूँ अक्षय को।
Hello,
Hi, how are you, Akshay?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you? Is it?
अभी जब मैं शुरू कर रही थी ना लाइव तो आए पहले मैंने सोचा कि मैं सब कुछ बता ही देती हूँ कि अच्छा आज जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं वो क्या क्या करते हैं, क्या क्या टैलेंट्स हैं। फिर मैंने सोचा नहीं, ऐसे ना मजा खराब हो जाएगा पहले से सब कुछ बताने में। तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि आज मैं कुछ नहीं बताऊं आपके बारे में, सबको आप खुद बताएं बिकॉज व्हाट आई हैव रेड अबाउट यू इज समथिंग अमेजिंग। और वो मैं चाहती थी कि धीरे धीरे कॉन्वर्जेशन में ना, जैसे जैसे मैं आपसे बात करूं वैसे वैसे सामने निकल के आए कि अच्छा आप ये भी करते थे, फिर ओके अच्छा ये करते हैं तो फिर ये भी करते हैं साथ में। बिकॉज द वे आई रेड इट वॉज इट वॉज लाइक अ वेव। योर करियर हैज बीन लाइक दिस। तो इसीलिए आज आई really want so generally what happens in our life, the agenda normally goes with a question answer session which is not going to happen today. So I want to know your story basically. So I will not ask you anything. I want you to tell us everything about you. Everything. Like how did you, so I know you're a writer, you are a screenwriter, you are an actor, you have worked with Tamil film industry, and then you were an engineer who left your job. So, but what is your story? What is your story? So tell us about it.
Hello everyone, and thank you Litfest Mumbai for inviting me for this live session. Am I audible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you again, Kritika, for coordinating this. It's been like it's great to have to converse about different dreams and aspects of life because I've been into writing since last 4 years now. Because 2018 I launched my first book. So only when you launch your first book, you start your journey. You start counting your years year after. So that's how it happened in 2018. But before that, yeah, my journey has been with like it's been like up and down, and I've been facing a lot of issues right before from the first. But yeah, that's okay. That's how life is, and you go with the pace of life. So that is one thing. I started my journey right from 2009, I would say, when I was an engineer. I was an engineering student, and then when I passed out from engineering college, I ended up taking my job as an electrical engineer. I was working in a steel industry, and from there I worked for some 3 years in there, and then I shifted to a German plant where I was just an engineer into robotics and the other things. But yeah, I was just writing few stories just to keep my writing intact. That's it. But before that, in my college days, I used to make short films. I used to direct short films and write short films, and obviously. That time I was very much crazy about music, right? So I was like, I really wanted to take music as a career. So I did try a lot of places, but unfortunately, I did not take that as a profession. That was some unfortunate event. So, or else I would have taken music as a profession itself by that time itself, but I couldn't take it due to some unavoidable circumstances in life. And then, but I kept my music intact. I still play music. I go to studios, I perform there, and yeah, that is there. It's like a professional musician. I just work for myself, but not as a profession where I've been called as musician, nothing like that. But yeah, I'm a writer and I'm an author, so for me that itself is enough for me as of now. Yeah, this is what the journey has been. Apart from that, films are like I had been in 3 films now. Like the first film was Sleeper Cells, which was shot in 2020, and it is going to release by this year. And I'm not an actor in that. I'm just an executive in the production unit, and also one of the writers for Hindi dialogue. So I'm one of the dialogue writer for the film. So that is going to release this year pretty soon. We'll be starting to do the promotions for that. So everybody, whoever is in my contact list, they'll be knowing about it. And obviously, it's a Tamil film, so obviously it will go into theaters only. So that is the one thing. And second film is 1 into 13. That is like an independent film. In that I have acted. So let us hope for that as well to release. Apart from that, the third film is the biggest film which I got an opportunity. I've been a very, like it's been like a pleasure, working in a big film and under a very big production house and big directors, and music is by Rahman sir. What else you want a career in, in the film
Absolutely,
industry?
absolutely.
So that I've just acted for a very short time because that is my first break, I would say. So yeah, that will come. I don't know how long will be. I'll be there, or even I'll not be there. So I don't know, but yeah, whenever it comes, I'll be delighted to see myself, and then I would definitely share it with people to, they'll see it because it's a big film and the actors are like Simbu. Simbu is a very big superstar. Apart from other than the other superstars, he's also a very big superstar here. So yeah, so this is how been my journey has been, and it's quite good. Apart from that, I'm working on my next two books. The story is actually ready, but I need some time to publish my book because the publishing is like a longer process. Because I also have a publishing house, so I am thinking to just see however it goes. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Akshay, अगर like if we go back into time for a while and start where you were in school or maybe college, and where you actually realized that okay, this is the thing I want to do. Like I want to write, I want to act, and or maybe I want to make music. So I also want to know how it all started. What is the foundation of your writing? You know, you being the writer, and I also want to know what was the time and what was that particular moment when you realized you want to write your first book. So tell us about
Uh,
that.
when I was an engineer, like engineering student, I wouldn't say an engineer, engineering student. That time, I started as like I was like a musician. I just wanted to be a musician because that's what I was very much fascinated to, and I did a lot of band shows. I went for different cultural events there, and I performed in front of thousands of people that time. And I got that confidence in life. When you are on stage, right, and when you're performing, so you get that confidence, right, and that helped me like for a future as well. So that was one time. I really wanted to take music as a career, but I couldn't take, as I told. And then to portray my music, I wrote short films. That is where I identified myself as a writer because that's only when I do I identify myself, right? So I thought, okay, let me write something for short films. I wrote for some three short films that time in 2012. I'm saying, and then I directed it and it got released. And after that, I left everything. I went into I went into the plant. So for the like next 5 to 6 years, I was totally out of this creative field. I never did any short films, nor I wrote for any films, nor I worked in any places. Like I was just an electrical engineer working profession. That's it, and that's how it started, and that's how it was going. And I was pretty sure about it. Like one day I'll definitely do it. But yeah, and during that time, because I was isolated in a plant life, right? Because you don't get anything around. There's no city life, no, not even a village life. You're just around between two places in a plant. But the luxury would be definitely there inside the plant. But you don't have any other life other than that. So I decided to write some stories. I wrote some two stories which was never published, and I never published that because of certain reasons. So I just left that. But I identified that okay, I can write a book. So that was the time. And then when I was back here in my place in Coimbatore, and then I decided after I met Shiv Khera sir. Shiv Khera sir conducted a session here for 2 days workshop. So when I met him, I was very much fascinated by his words because he used to talk about his book, especially "You Can Win" and "You Can Win, You Can Achieve." Some next book, of course, of his. So those two books, right, really fascinated me. And then I really thought, okay, when I can write, even I can publish my book. So that was the time, I immediately published my book in the next couple of months itself. And I told one of his team members in New Delhi that, yeah, I've published my book, and he was pretty much happy about it. And then it started like from 2018, I started marketing my book. I went to various bookstores, and I, got contacts, and I displayed my book over there, and they were very much, happy about the sales. And yeah, it went on, and everything was like a journey till now. I mean, it is a journey still.
And your first book is The Flying Dreams, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
What
yes,
is
that's
it
right.
all about, The Flying Dreams? And is is the book semi or maybe some autobiographical? Like there is this thing that whenever we write a book, so I myself is an author as well. So I think as an author, I have somewhere realized that we will always find our own reflections in our books. So, like, I want to ask that are there any reflections of yours in the book? I really want to know about the book, The Flying Dreams. What is it all about? And how did you come up with the idea of writing, okay, I want to write this concept and, this subject, and tell us about that.
uh, this book is about dreams. Like, everybody has a dream, but somehow, they don't pursue that. And that's the reason, it provoked me to write it, actually, because that was me at that point of time when I left my music career. I had everything in me that, I wanted to take as music as profession. I was about to leave even for the industry, but I couldn't do it because of certain reasons. I took my job. So that was one thing. So that thought, given me that, you have to write something which would inspire others as well, so that, they also do something, like they can take their passion, at least they can just pursue their passion sideways. So that was the only thing in my mind, and that's the reason I wrote that book. And the book is about, it's a thriller. It's like a psychological thriller. So the person goes inside his dream, he hypnotizes himself, and he gets inside his dream and finds himself performing magic show in front of thousands of people in his auditorium, because in real life he can't do that. So he gets addicted to hypnotism, and only when he hypnotizes, he gets inside the dreamland, his fantasy world. Okay, and he confuses himself, like whether he's in real world or is in fantasy world. So this is the realization, whether it's in real life or it's a dream's life. So the person is actually conflicted. So this is what the book is all about, and it ends with a thriller. And I've left a note that, a certain motivation also. So it's a combination of motivation, thriller. I cannot say truly motivation, but yeah, just 5% or 10% of it. But it's a psychological thriller, and apart from that, you have a mixture of love also. Love elements are also added, and that's how it is.
Okay. One thing that really fascinated me is you started out as an engineer, which is which is not at all creative aspect. Okay. So, which is like a totally different field, totally different industry. It's something very technical. And then you did not want to write. You did not want to write in the first place. Okay. And then you got this opportunity as an actor where you were quite fascinated by the fact that you want to act, and then on in the process you actually started realizing that you can actually write something, and then you wrote a book. But now, as far as I see, you are into a publishing business. So the area of the journey that your journey has been, it's like totally different from what we actually see. So, like being an engineer to being an actor, and then getting into something you did not realize in the first place that you actually wanted to do. So, how did you actually come into the publishing business?
Yeah, because the thing is, once you write a book, you really want to continue that. And I didn't want to leave this industry. I wanted to try in films, of course, because right from my beginning, I was into music, and as I told you, I really wanted to take my career into films, and that was only possible only if I have a name. And book
Mhm.
gave me the name, and only because of my book, I entered film industry. To be very honest, and I would say this also, like. I was treated very good in the film industry. They treat me like they give me good treatment. Like they don't consider me as a normal person at all. But it is really good that as an author you go inside the film. So you know, sometimes they may ask you to write, sometimes they may ask you to act. Also, there are different things, you know. So that is one thing why films really fascinated me. And yeah, it's not that you can really you know, earn a lot of money from that, but that's the reason you should have certain business also. That's why, you know, my publishing houses, and I really wanted to stay intact with the literature field. That is why publishing house. And I can also write and I can publish others who love writing, and that is the only reason for publishing house, nothing other than that.
And now, okay, and now you have also into Coimbatore Awards, which is the literature awards. Okay, how did that actually came into mind that I also want to do this, which is
Yeah,
another
because
aspect of
for
writing and
me,
publishing?
yeah, that's because once you are into literature, as I told, I really wanted to, you know, do many things for literature and people around, even for the authors. I really feel that if he or she is an author, I should support him or her. This is one of my motive. And I don't find any competition in any field, because I don't stay into one field, I am into different field. So I have no competition with others. I try to be kind to everyone, and I just expect the same. So it's been going good only, and that's the reason, you know, I really wanted to have this literature awards in the name of Coimbatore, because Coimbatore is my city, and I really wanted that literature world to come over here. And that's how it happened, and it's pretty good that it really happened. And probably after a year or two, there might be a physical events happening in the name of Coimbatore Literary Awards, and that is what we are focused to do. Maybe after a couple of years, for sure, we are going to conduct over here.
Very nice. I also wanted to know more about your acting journey and, you know, something if you could
Acting
tell us.
journey,
Yeah, please.
acting journey. There is nothing much about it, because I have not acted in many films. Just
But
two
you
films
did
that,
write dialogue.
yeah, dialogue writing I have done. That is also very simple thing only, because I've been much around with people in the film industry. Like I've been hanging out with them, and you know, being around with them, learning process of filmmaking, and being with big directors, talking to them. So yeah, more than, you know, my acting career, what I felt good was, you know, being in touch with them, being in contact with them, learning a lot of things with them, learning about filmmaking, learning about life sciences, everything. So for me, not as an actor, but yeah, but as not even as a writer, but as a human to human interaction in the film industry was very much, you know, happening moment for me. Actually, I really felt that good, and I really wanted to take that further. That's it. So nothing much about my
But
acting, but
if
yeah, but
you
I
get
do.
a chance to act, would you in the future?
Sorry.
If you get a chance to act in more films, would you act? Would you choose to
Yeah,
act?
yeah. Now I'm been establishing myself only as an actor in film industry, because
Okay.
not not as a mainstream writer, but mainstream
Hmm.
actor. I'm just trying any role, even if it is you know, a character role or side role, anything. Yeah, process is going on. Like once the film starts releasing, right, only then I'll be getting a lot of other opportunities. But now, as of now, the three films which I've done, at least if two releases, it's well and good. I'm just waiting for that. Maybe in a year, within a year, it might release. And I've been telling this since a long time, but let's see whenever it releases.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Okay, Akshay, you have left engineering in the middle of because you wanted to do something creative. You wanted to, be an actor or maybe a writer afterwards. So, but whenever we learn something, we always take a part of it in ahead in the future, and we never leave it behind. Like for example, I am someone from a journalism background, so I always try to keep my communication intact as a part of my journalism learning. Or maybe whenever I write something, you will always find the glimpses of technical writing in my creative writing. So, for you, being an engineer, you must have taken a lot of learnings ahead in your professional career. So, how would you define Akshay as an engineer and as an actor and writer, maybe? So, if we combine both of them, how would you define that?
Yeah. after completing my engineering, I worked for 6 years, as I told, and that time I was completely an engineer. I was not thinking about other things. I was just trying in various fields. I was writing. Apart from that, because we hardly used to get time, when you're in a plant or in a hardcore engineering sector where you find only power plants and everything, you can't really, take other things. But one day I decided, because even before my engineering jobs, when I was in the college, I was much fascinated into movie making, and I really edit everything, like editing, music making. I composed music. Apart from acting, I did everything in the short films. So that was the thing which was revolving in my mind when I was working. Then when I was an engineer alone, it really, felt like, I had different dreams. I really have different dreams. Why do I not take, my passion into profession? So I just thought of quitting my job. One day I decided to quit my job. It's been 4 years now. I quit my job. And so it's been a long journey. So now I cannot say I'm an engineer, because engineering means only when you practice it, you are an engineer. This degree even doesn't count you as an engineer, because after engineering, your degree is there. That's of no use. You will not remember anything. When I was working there, that time, yeah, I would say, but now I don't call myself as an engineer. Nobody calls me an engineer now. So that is how it's been.
Okay, so now we can only say that you're an actor and a writer, but not an engineer in a practical sense.
First a writer, only a writer, and secondly, some what people say entrepreneur, someone say musician, like people say. But for me, it's only writer, and then secondary everything comes.
Secondly, it's an actor. Okay, so how would I
Yeah.
see Akshay in another 5 years, as an actor or as a writer?
Sorry, can you come again?
Yeah, how, like, if I want to see you in the next 5 years, what would it be? Akshay as a writer or Akshay as an actor?
Akshay, who is acting and releasing books, both the things.
Okay, not writing on the screen, like not writing for screen, dialogues, maybe screenplay or
No,
something.
that is like, for me, film is like, I should be a part of film. Either I do writing or I do acting, because the first film I was in production unit. I'm an executive producer, so that itself is a big role for me, and that is what I feel. If I'm a part of a film, it can be anything, either writing, acting, or direction. I just want to be a part of film. That's it. But
You
apart
just
from
want to
that,
be a
the
part of
main thing
it.
is that, yeah, Akshay has to write books. That is what life gave me, because that is how I started. Only when I launched my book, I came till here, or else I wouldn't have come till here. So obviously, it is the books first, which comes first.
Okay, and you also play guitar. I think I saw your story or something. You also play guitar, and so can you also tell us about it? Like, are you fond of making music, and can we also see something related to music in the future?
Yeah, as I told, I was a composer before. I composed album songs when I was doing for short films. I used to compose the entire music. I used to arrange the music, and I'm more than a guitarist. I'm a keyboardist. I'm a professional keyboardist, I would say. And
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, I play harmonium also. So there are like 3 to 4 instruments I play, and
Wow.
not regular basis. On regular basis is keyboard and guitar, and I compose music. But now I've stopped composing. Like whenever I get a chance in films, like whenever
Why?
I may, I'm not composing. I'm just playing for my piece. That's it. Because people say that you have to take one career and you have to focus on that. So let us see like how things goes, because there are like many things happening, either acting, writing, music. So that's where people get confused and they don't uh, give me writing and right opportunities. So now when I'm getting opportunities in acting, so I'm taking acting as a full-time thing, maybe in future. Apart
Well,
from that,
that's amazing
music
because
will
I think
definitely be.
music will definitely come along. Well, that I totally agree that since you are very passionate for acting, you should definitely take up acting as a professional career. But I guess you are multi-talented, and not everyone gets a chance to do various things at a time. I cannot play any instrument. I wish I had learned it, or maybe I could play it, but I cannot. So I think it's a blessing, and I would really love to see Akshay not even as a writer, not even as an actor, but also as a musician someday. So matlab, I believe Akshay can also write and he can also act, and at the same time he can also make music, which would be wonderful. For example, Priyanka Chopra, she once said, like, I like acting, so I will act. I like writing, so I will write a book. I like singing, so I will also sing the song. So I believe we can do all the things that we want in the world, and there is nothing wrong in that. So what is
Yeah,
your
this is very.
opinion? Like if we do not add, like if we do not think about people for a second, what is your personal opinion on that?
Yeah, my personal opinion is like, when I was totally into music, I was not even into writing or acting or anything. I was only into music. I was so obsessed with music. That is how this dreams thing came in my mind, and I wrote a book. So music was like, I chased music for 10 years. I never got an opportunity for any platform. And that's the reason I started thinking that, you have to be popular or you have to do something very big to get inside the film industry. And luckily, I got this idea of writing book. And book generally, even with book, people don't get that fame or something. Maybe because of the 10 years of journey in music, the fame I got was in book. So, so something else happened, and I became an author. It was not planned. I never planned to become an author. And yeah, book was really liked by many, and there were like many readers initially. And it took me 3 years, only for book journey. Now it's been 4 years, obviously, but 3 years it took me for reaching a lot of people. And then by seeing that journey, I was called in various award event as a chief guest, and I presented a lot of people the awards, and that's how it happened. But yeah, music will definitely come. I keep playing. It's not that I have forgotten music. I still play music a lot, and weekly thrice of 4 days in a week. I just play keyboard and guitar, so that the touch never goes. Even if now I'm called by any music directors or any places in the production, I can play. So anytime things can change. So yeah, that is also there.
Absolutely. And as they say, good things come in unexpected ways. As you said, the book just came. It was not planned, not at all planned. So definitely. Okay, so I wanted to ask one technical question from you. Though I had just decided it. I would not ask you anything, but then I really want to know about this. Since you were not an experienced author when you launched your own book, and you were so as you said, the book actually came unexpectedly in your life. It was not at all planned, and it just came. It just happened. Like a magic. So how? So did you ever think of this that you would have to promote your book and maybe, so there are these technical parts that you would have to do to reach a level. So your book is a bestseller. I guess it was in the bestseller rank as well, The Flying Dreams. So, how was the journey as an author? I want to know about that. Like, how did you reach that level that, okay, now I'm a bestseller? But there must be a process in the middle of that. You must have gone through a lot of challenges, a lot of, research must have happened. So, tell us about that.
Yeah, it started, like my book got launched on October 4th, 2018. And after that, I decided to quit my job. And then I was totally focused that, I really wanted to do marketing of this. And there was no other way to, make a reach. Marketing was very simple. I was just telling my friends to read the book and put reviews on various platforms, especially on Instagram. I was not focusing on Amazon as well. I mean, I was not
Oh,
focusing on Amazon. That time I did not know. I was a newcomer, right? So I didn't know what how it
yeah,
works. I was just
that's my point. Because as a new author, we do not know a lot of things when we start.
yeah. So that time, but before that, I was only into music. So people were like astonished, like they were like shocked. How come he's writing a book, and how did he get an idea? Because I never told anybody that I write, and nobody knew that I wanted to write a book. They only they only thought that Akshay would become a musician as a professional musician one day. Everybody thought that he will take that, but nothing happened as such. So that's why I was a bit depressed, and I wrote a book, and that is where I got that fame. And I told people, because I was much into Instagram by that time as well, because of uploading a lot of music videos. So I told them, please read my book and put it on Instagram. So once you put it on Instagram, many people see that, and that's how it started. And it was only the word of mouth. I did not invest any money, because by the time I had left my job, why would I invest money? so
Hmm.
so nothing was like purely marketing. It was only word of mouth, and it was only organic way of letting people know that my book has been launched. And by the time I was an engineering student. I worked in two different organizations and all big plans. So many people already knew me. So and based on that, I set them to buy it, and that's the reason they helped me. They bought the book, and uh, they put it on even on Facebook, and that's how it got spread. And people started buying. And after that, after a while, I thought now it is time to find the right audience, find the right readers for it. Then I found many readers, and then readers started, coming to me, and they were like, "I can read your book and give you a positive feedback or a genuine feedback," and that's how it started. And then after that, when book got really reached on a certain level or whatever it may be, uh, then award functions started calling me. Like there are various award functions happening here, and it's all business awards. They started calling me as chief guest. So once I go inside an award function, right, you find thousands of people over there. Then when I'm on stage and presenting awards to other people, they find me and they Google me, and that is how people came to know. So yeah, face value came by writing, and that is how slowly the book got reached.
So now you're an experienced author. Now you actually know the technical aspects of writing. What do you see? There is a loophole, low hole, or I should say, lacking in the writing industry, and that we should all work on. So, what are the challenges that you see in the writing industry, being the writer, being an author?
In writing industry, the challenges I cannot say, because I'm not that big enough to comment on writing industry. But I can only say that there should be a lot of readers, because there are many publishing houses coming, there are many writers coming, but there are less number of readers. That is why interest reduces, because I've also published quite a few numbers now, and whoever I've published, they don't want to publish their next book, because they don't get that returns, they don't find that readers, and they keep investing money, and the interest fades away. So this is one drawback in the writing industry, especially, because the interest shouldn't fade away. They should keep on trying, of course, but see, the fact is fact. Only when you have a lot many readers, people will write. But still, the hopes are always alive. People should keep on writing, but we should also tell readers, the other people, non-readers, also to read books, so that.
So, Akshay, I can clearly see your passion for acting and films for that matter. So, any plan to turn your book into a movie?
Yeah, as I told, I have three stories completed, but before that one story, I've been traveling a little hot many places to convert my book into film, but it is going to take time, I guess. Maybe after I launch my next books, it might there might be some hopes for it, but I don't know as of now. But it's okay. Like even the book is not coming into the films, I am coming into the films. That is more
And
important.
when will we see your next book coming? You said you are writing, you're working on the next book.
So the next book, yeah, actually you were asking me about whether my book would be converted into screen or not. Yes, I don't know
Yeah.
whether it will be converted or not, because it's a long process, and only when I launch my next books, there might be some rays of hopes coming around me. It will happen, and I don't know when it's going to happen. But the positive thing is that I've been around films. Even if my book is not coming, I'll be in the film. So that is one good thing for me, and it's okay. Like either I am there in the film or my book is into the film. So either way, it should be good enough. That's what I feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are so many people out there who want to pursue their passion, maybe become a musician or an actor or a writer. Do you want to say something to them? Maybe guide them through this, how they can start over, how they can, reach out to right people at the right time.
Yeah, if they want to write, they should, read a lot of books because when I started my journey, I was not a reader, and then later on, I thought that if you want to write a book, you should be a reader. So I decided it did not happen in a day, and it took me like years, years to get that idea to write a book, and years also to publish the book. But the reading habit it generated only then because I was not a reader like by then. But now, yeah, when I'm writing any story or anything, I tend to read books first. So reading habit should be inculcated, and it should be it should be there in people now because earlier how we were, I can't say that I was a reader. I was just like a normal guy. So that is one thing, and only then you can write. And when you write, you have to set different ways of creative ways. I would say either if you're writing for films or you're writing for book, the story has to reach out to people. That is one thing. So
Mhm.
yeah, there are ways and apart from that, you should set one flowchart because whenever I write for any even films, I've written for three stories now. And how I did is like I've just spoke with the directors and the actors, and I've just made a flowchart of it. And after the flowchart, I've made the characters and then made the events where the events are happening, and then you have to mix it up, and then you have to think about the creativity of that particular
Mhm.
story. Then you can continue writing. This is the simple way, like everybody does, whoever writers are.
Okay. Also, can you please tell us what to expect and what not to expect when starting the journey like this? See, because as you also know and I also know, creative pursuits always take time. As you said, it will not happen in a day. It will take time. So, what should be the
Yeah,
expectations of me being a live writer or maybe a newbie?
I would say one quote which I recently read: "You should love patience." Yeah, that's it. Once you start loving patience, right, everything will fall in your place because whatever thing you do in creative field, be it writing, be it acting, be it music, or anything which is into the art field, you should start loving. The patience. The word patience has to be very much intact within you because once if you're looking for the commercial part from the art field, initially it will never come, and people might turn
Yeah.
out and they might stop writing or whatever. I've seen a lot of people. The same thing happened with me also. It's not that I'm every day we feel that we are not getting what really we want, and it happens with everybody, and we have to be really understand because industry, and once you survive in this industry, you succeed. As simple as that.
Rightly said. So we really need to have patience and, we should have perseverance and maybe a lot of hard work to put in if we really want to achieve what we want to achieve. Uh, Thank you so much, Akshay. It was so nice talking to you today. We learned a lot from you. And the best part of you is you are very much patient about things to happen at the right time. And generally when we talk to someone, the other person always tend to be like he wants to get each and everything overnight. So he is not willing to put in enough hard work, and he is not willing to wait for things to happen. But in your case, it's totally different. It's entirely different, which is for all of us to learn. And I really wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And I really hope you become a great, great, great artist. You also write and you also act. And I would also love to see your music sometime in the future in the industry. So thank you so much for joining us on Little Mumbai. It was so great talking to you today.
Thank you so much for hosting. It was really nice talking to you. And yeah, I'll keep uploading my music apart from writing, and people can really enjoy that because I also do videos so people can see acting, writing, and music, all the three aspects of my life. Thank you so much, and really grateful for being in the Lit of Fest Mumbai. I hope the journey continues. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, and I also want to thank all our viewers who joined us today. Thank you so much for watching us patiently, and thank you so much. I will definitely come up with another guest, another learning, another set of questions, another set of answers, and another set of surprises for you. Okay, Akshay, bye bye. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.